getting some wonderful points on your resume today. So we did have that. Also, quick reminder, today we started live streaming, so we are live streaming right now. It has been going all morning, basically. It has not stopped. And it's been, I'm recording also just during class sessions. So like, basically once you guys start working on stuff and you're working independently, I turn the recording off because nobody really wants to watch just a bunch of quiet people writing. Okay? So we're not live streaming that, but we are live streaming just about everything else. Well, I should take it back. We are live streaming everything. We are not recording you guys just sitting around writing. Okay? So just to let you guys know about that. Did everybody take their parent letter home and give it to their parents?
Yeah.
Yeah? No?
Wait.
No, you were not supposed to get it signed.
Oh,
You did not
okay.
have to get it signed,
I
but you
didn't.
were supposed to take it home and then make sure that they read it. So that's I'm trusting that you did that, and if you haven't done that today, that you will do that on the next couple of days, the next day or so. All right. Let's see here. Does anybody have any questions over turning resumes in or anything like that?
No.
Yes.
So, which one do we do for language arts and which one do we do for history?
It's whichever class you were in first.
I was in world history.
So then you'll have your points will show up when you go online to look at it. If you ended up doing 2 of them, you'll see points in the world history one. And then as long as if you turned in your second one that you did during language arts, I'll give you points on that one too.
I put them both in language arts.
That's fine. That's fine. Because some other people did that for world history too. They gave me 2 during world history, and that's fine. If you gave me 2, that's fine. As long as I have them, then we're okay. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started really quick. I want to just take attendance. I want to make sure everybody is here because I keep getting yelled at because I don't take attendance fast enough. I think everybody's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooks
Brooke's here. She had to go get something or do something other quick, but she is here. I talked to her already. She is here.
Cool.
So we should get started. No.
Think it's funny, Christian? Huh?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It's hilarious.
All right. So I told you that one of the things that we are going to do today is we are going to start working on just a little bit of practice writing. And I wanted to do that because we have our local assessments coming up. We have our first round of writing coming up. And so it's always good to do a little practice before you have to start writing. But in order to help us remember all the things and go into a good argumentative essay, because that's what you guys are writing, it's good argumentative essays, we're going to watch this glorious video that my 4th and 5th period class last year did. If you want to see the original video, because we copied somebody else, because you can do that sometimes. It is on YouTube. I don't have it linked on my page, but you can go watch it. It's actually really good. We did our own version of it. So please pay attention to this glorious video.
Got him in the back. That was crap.
Mr. Bittner's 6th grade language arts class at Murphy Junior High. We are writing argumentative essays. How many paragraphs do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 paragraphs. Where do we always start with our purpose? And
Why is it so wet?
I don't know why it's all choppy. That's not supposed to be choppy like that. Oh, that's terrible.
It's cool. I like it like that.
Okay. Oh, don't you just love technology when it works and then it doesn't work?
Yes.
I love it when it doesn't work.
It's
Because then
funny
I don't
when
have
it
to do
doesn't work.
homework. You said I wasn't even in it. If you figure out the live stream, well, when you look at the board, is it still white?
It's still kind of white now.
Mr. Bender, my mom, she said that she found out about the things, and she said that I'm gonna go on every day and watch it. I'm like, great, so the stalker class.
Good. Good.
We shall say hi.
What happened is we had a recording of, we had a fire.
Wait, so she can actually
And they had
technically
to
see
sit and watch everybody
She
on
can
our-
record.
She can be watching right now.
So technically, she can see if you're good or not, if you're being good.
Wait, Mr. Bender, can the camera see everywhere?
No, it can't see everywhere, but it
What
can
about the
hear
hearing?
everything. So all this chatter that's going on right now, it's picking all that up.
But you know what? I'm not gonna tell my mom, because yesterday I told her that it wasn't working properly, and I'm not gonna tell her that it's working now.
Mr. Bender, can you whispers?
Yeah, yeah, the volume button just went.
What's taking so long?
Mr. Bittner?
Can we
What?
change seats?
No.
Can I go on an Wait, can like,
Okay.
oh no.
Oh, snap.
I wish.
181 views, is that? Oh.
Oh,
that was our camera. Oh my gosh.
It's not as lagging as it was, but it's still lagging. No, I do not need a lot. Mr. Binder's 6th grade language arts class at Murphy Junior High. We are writing argumentative essays. How many paragraphs do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 paragraphs. Where do we always start with our
Purpose.
purpose? And what is our purpose? It is
Reason why writing.
the reason why we're writing, and that brings us to our C, which is to
Solve, evaluate, argue.
solve, evaluate, argue, and then we have our audience, right? And we have our literal audience, which is teacher, and our intended audience is
The prompt tells
the
you.
prompt tells you. Then we have our context, and context is a
Picture.
picture, which captures a,
Moment.
and that moment is made up of what 3 things?
Time, place, who, or what's involved.
Time, place, and who, and what's involved. Right, and then we have our topic, or our
Big idea.
And where do we find our topic?
The first two sentences.
First two sentences. And then we have our issues. And our issues are
Why you should care.
why you should care. And then we need to point. We need to defend. And we need to point to your reader's mind. And what do we use to defend our issues?
Main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3 knocks them out.
And then we say,
Find your readers, come full circle, tie it all together, fresh new perspective.
right. And when we're building now that we have our issues, we need to build our arguments. And when we build our arguments, we use our what?
Smart heart chart.
Our smart heart chart. And in our smart heart chart, we might have safety. We might have money. We might have attitude. We might have relationships, time, health, energy, awareness, results, taste. All of our arguments need to be,
Justify.
they need to have,
Support.
they need to be,
Focus.
they need to have,
Transition.
and they need to be, okay. So I know that was a little hard to hear. I do not know why it's so choppy. Most of the time whenever I run YouTube videos on my laptop and not on the school's network, they run great. And I haven't had a single problem with them being that choppy so far. So I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that I'm live streaming at the same time and it's just sucking up the bandwidth. So I apologize for that. It's not the way at all that I wanted it to look. But it's actually really, really good. They tell you a number of different things that are very important for writing argumentative essays. Is there anything from that video that anybody heard and remembered that says that's something that you need to do? What is any of the points? Emma, what's something?
No, I was just saying.
Oh, but what is something that you remember? What is that?
I'm not very well.
You're not gonna tell? Enrique, what's something you remember?
Organized.
Very organized. Organized is a huge one. Up here on my board, I have up on my wall. If everybody can turn and look and see it. I know it's kind of hard to see here. I have what's called the 6 traits of writing. There are 6 things that a really good writer should do. There are main things. 6 things you should include in your writing in order to make it really, really good. And then we also have, and then I have little key points up there. So some of those things include organization. Organization is a big one. You want to make sure that your paper is properly organized. You want to have it going in the right order. Does anybody remember where you say your biggest, heaviest hitting point? Where does your big point go? It's one of your main ideas. You should have 3 main ideas. Where's the big one go, Jack?
I'll add the third one.
The
4th paragraph.
Okay,
The 3rd body one.
the 3rd main paragraph. Why do you save it for the 3rd one?
Because it's
Main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3 knocks them out.
Main idea 3 knocks them out. It's just like, consider your paper like a UFC fight or like a boxing event. You got main idea 1. Main idea 1 is a shot to the kidneys, right? Kind of weakens it a little bit. Main idea kind of goes like, ooh, shot to the kidneys. Main idea 2 is a pop, jab right in the rib cage, kind of stun them back a little bit. But main idea 3 is that big right hand uppercut that just knocks them out. End of the punch. It's the Chuck Liddell pop to the chin. It's the end of the fight. It's the end. You want to save that big, heavy one. You don't lead with that. You don't lead with it because if you miss, they know it's coming. If you miss, they know it's coming and you got nothing else after that. Everything else after that's kind of weak. You save your kind of weaker punches for the beginning. You use those right away. And then you let them think that you're going back to that kidney, right? Yeah. You're going back to that weaker point, but you know you stay that strong one. You keep that strong, heavy hand for the very end.
if you want to do
Huh?
you're not talking about area. boxing.
Just mainly boxing. But even that, you always want to save your big, heavy point for the end. You don't want to lead with that. You don't want to lead with it because if it doesn't work, you don't have much after that, and they know what's coming. So save your big point. If you have a really strong point, save it to the end. It should be your third body paragraph. Yeah.
How often do you watch UFC?
Not that often. Not as often as they used to. But that's so we've got, you want to be organized. You want to make sure that in your organization, when you're looking at your main ideas, you save your big heavy point, the one that you've got lots of great information on, lots of great backup. You want to save that to your last one. Save that to your last main idea point. Use that third main idea point to knock them out. Right? What's something else that somebody remembers from watching the video? Or at least listening to the video?
Like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph.
5 paragraphs. 5 paragraphs. What are the 5 paragraphs you should have?
The beginning is the introduction.
Introduction, that's number 1. And we talked about the other 3. You got main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3 knocks them out. What's our 4th one?
Conclusion.
Conclusion, correct.
Click on body prefix.
So we got our body, we got our introduction. Our introduction, that's where because I'm using this boxing metaphor as it is. We'll just keep going with it. Introduction, your introductory paragraph. That's like if you guys have ever watched UFC or you've ever watched a boxing match, they always have that moment at the very beginning of the fight where they announce the people's names, the fighters' names, and they play their music, and they walk in and they got their the hood on their coat up, and they're always like this, They walk real slow, they walk all funny, they don't walk normal, they either strut or they kind of bounce walk, just kind of punch and stuff. They've got 3 Red Bulls in their hands, and they're getting ready. Their things covered and sponsor tattoo or sponsor paraphernalia, who pays them, and they're really excited, So that's your introduction. That's the people walking into the ring. And then you have your actual fight itself, which is your main body 1, main body 2, main body 3. All of a sudden main body 3 comes, you knock them out with that third argument. Now it's over. Now it's over. And you get to the conclusion where you proclaim yourself champion. You get to put the belt on. You walk out of the ring. You get to celebrate. You get to high five. If you're in the UFC, you do the thing they always do now when they win. And they jump up on top of the cage and they sit on the top of the cage, which I don't know why you want to do that. It's really uncomfortable. But that's what they do, So that's kind of the way your paper goes. Your argumentative essay goes. You start out with your introductions. You're introducing your fighter. Here is your topic, the thing that you're backing. You're behind this. You believe in it. You're introducing that. And then the actual kind of fight starts, and this is where you're giving your information about to support your fighter. To say this is why this is this, and this is why this is this, and building off of that. And then finally you have your winning bout, your winning championship. The title is announced, you need to raise your fist in the air and you walk off. Right? And that's your conclusion, you're walking off. Alright? It's kind of like the introduction except in reverse. Alright?
We don't walk home.
Yeah, sometimes you still walk out, sometimes you kind of limp a little bit as you get to the end. So, all right. Anything else that anybody remembers? So we got 5 paragraphs. We've got stay organized. Big heavy hitter. Yes.
You start off with the purpose.
Start off with a purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you writing this? What is your purpose? Why are you writing this? What is your purpose? Why are you writing your paper? You've got to believe in your purpose. That's the first thing that you need to do. Why are you writing this? That's not a legitimate reason why, but it's an okay why. But that ties into Jax just whispered because Mr. Bittner told me to, which is that's sometimes is your purpose. You have to write a paper because that's the assignment. You have to do it. Huh? No. But that actually ties into one of the other 2 things that they mentioned in the video. There's 2 types of audiences. You have 2 types of audiences. You have your literal audience, the person you're literally writing to, which is me. You're writing your papers for me. And so you are writing your papers to impress me and to convince me. But then you have your intended audience. That would be, like last year, I know in my 6th grade class, we wrote a paper on whether or not there were, I think, 4th and 5th grade wrote a paper on whether or not they could use technology in class. Was that 4th and 5th, or was that 7 and 8?
That was 7 and 8. We did
7
the
and 8.
one where.
Yeah, you guys did the really ridiculous one on lunch.
We didn't do it on what?
Didn't you guys do lunch seating in there?
No, the argument one that we did, where we had the 3 main things and it was like dress. It was
I
like
don't
dress.
remember.
No,
Oh, that's a different one. No, that's, you're thinking of a different paper. But either way, let's say when you wrote the one, if you were to write a paper about an argumentative paper essay saying that you should be able to use smartphones or tablets or laptops in class, if you wanted to write a paper about that, who would your intended audience be? If I asked you about it, who would your intended audience be? The school board? Who else? People up at the district, maybe the superintendent? Mr. Anderson? Correct. All of those people. All those people would be your intended audience. That's who you want to hear your argument. But your literal audience is going to be me, because I'm the person who's actually going to read them and grade them. So you have to keep those two audiences in mind. So sometimes your purpose might just be that you're writing a paper because Mr. Bittner said so. But you might have to have a bigger purpose, that you are writing a paper because you want to be able to use your smartphone to do projects in class. I actually downloaded an attachment for the smartboard that I have to test out that will actually allow you to use your smartphone in connection with the smart board in class. So I have to test it out and I have to see how it's going to work. But it is something that's a new piece of technology that's out there. And it'd be something that's could be really cool in the classroom. So that might be something you want to say, hey, we should do this. Why aren't we allowed to do this? And you want to write a paper about that. Okay. Anything else that anybody remembered from the video? Any other things? Jack? Exactly. That's the stuff that you do in your conclusion. You come full circle. You finally bring your story back around, like we talked about in the fight metaphor, or the fight analogy, I should say. That when you finally win and you get into that moment where they raise your hand and pronounce you the winner, you are finally bringing the fight full circle. It is finally ended. You are finished with it. You have brought it full circle. You started with not knowing who's going to win. Now you know who's going to win, or who won. You should do that with your paper also. You should start out saying, here's what I'm going to do, and by the end of it you should be saying, this is what I did. You should bring it full circle. And then you tie all your points together. Make sure that the reader understands how all your points connect. And then you need to say farewell to your reader. Somewhat. Shape or form. Yeah.
Aren't you like not allowed to use like we or I?
Ah. Very good. What we talk about different persons, different tenses. What tense is that? Does anybody remember? I, we, me.
Them.
Huh?
Present.
It's present. It's kind of, it can be present tense. But I'm thinking of is it first person, first person, third person, second person tense? Does anybody know?
First person.
First person. You want to avoid first person when you're talking about things. You want to keep yourself out of your paper. Keep yourself out of it. So you don't need to say things like I believe or I think. I think that smartphones should be allowed in school. Well, I don't think so. When you say things like I think that this should be, you are allowing someone to disagree with you. Instead, make your point stronger. Instead of saying, I think smartphones should be allowed in school, say what you actually think. Smartphones should be allowed in school. That's stronger. That's stronger. It's sort of like saying, well, I kind of think that we should be able to, like, I don't know, eat in class maybe? Or saying, we should be able to eat in class.
took out like all the
I'm
legs
hungry.
and babies.
One's strong, one's not. When you add in the I think, it makes it sound weak. Like you're not sure. You think, maybe, I don't know. It's not sure. You want to be sure. You want to be strong. We should be allowed to eat in this class.
No, we, Mr. Benner.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you should.
You are right.
Students should be allowed to eat in class. If that's what you want to write about.
Good job.
If you were going to the paper that we're going to start writing in just a second, that we're going to start practicing working on in just a few minutes. If you were to say, I think my summer was the worst summer of everybody else's in class.
Oh, yeah.
Is that very strong? No, because you're not sure. You want to be sure and you want to be strong. My summer was the worst. The worst. You want to be strong, assertive. My summer was the worst. My summer was so boring.
What's it out there?
There's actually but you want to be strong in your writing. You want to just come out and say it. Don't say I think, don't say I believe. It's unnecessary. It's redundant.
Not repetitive.
Not repetitive, it's unnecessary. It's superfluous. To use another excellent word, superfluous. It's unnecessary. You don't need it. Cut it out. Get rid of it. I think, I believe, you don't need it. The other last thing that I want to from the video that I want to pull out and remind you guys about and talk about really quickly before I actually get you guys started writing is this. When you're trying to figure out how to connect to your reader, you need to connect to your reader. I'm not going to want to read whatever it is you wrote if you don't make some sort of connection with me, right? If you don't somehow tie in something that I care about. And there's a way to remember what things your readers care about. You want to tie in the things that your readers care about, because then they're going to pay attention to you. If you don't tie in these things, they won't care. And we use a little anagram to remember all the different things that we care about in writing. We call it the Smart Heart Chart. If you guys want to write this down, I would highly recommend it. This is probably one of the first notes I want to make today. Smart Heart Chart. This is how you can connect to your reader. Smart Heart Chart. Number one, safety. The first S is safety. If you're writing something to someone, one of the ways to connect to your reader is to talk about things that are safe for them to do. Something that is safe, that will keep them safe. People love to read stuff about food products that are bad for them, that will make you fat or may cause different health issues, and so you shouldn't eat it. It's part of the reason why organic food has become so popular, is because there's been a lot of writing out there saying that overly processed foods, foods that are not organic, aren't safe for you. And so people have read this stuff and are just convinced that they need to eat something that is safe, something that is good for them. And so they take their safety very seriously. It's a good way of connecting with your reader, talking about their safety. Okay? It's a good way to connect. Another great way to connect, in fact, if it wasn't for the fact that this thing spells out a wonderful way of remembering it, this next one should be number one. should be number one because it's the best way to connect with anybody. Money. Money. Talk about money. If I wanted to write a story about my summer, one of the things that I could write about to connect with my reader is I could talk about how I was able to build this wonderful tree for less than $100.
Really? Did it?
Yeah, I did.
What?
In fact, the most money I spent on any part of this tree at all was on the spray paint to paint it. The spray paint, I probably all like paint all total probably cost me about $35-40 in paint, and that was probably the most money I spent. And I did it because I went to a lot of thrift shops, and I went to a lot of resale shops. I went to a lot of like home goods places that just get rid of stuff. I got stuff from lots of friends. In fact, one of the things that I got on here, just an example of some of the free stuff I got. I worked for Express in the mall, in the Joliet Mall over the summer, the clothing store over the summer, and the Joliet Mall.
This summer?
This summer, yeah. And one of the things that they do there is they always get all these new signs and stuff to put in, and these signs come in these gigantic cardboard boxes that are they're like really thin. They're basically just to hold posters, right? But they're really tall and they're huge. Well, I knew I was going to do this project, so I went to them and said, hey, can I steal the boxes from you when you guys get done with them? And they said, yeah, that's fine. So each one of these pieces around it has, around the shelf itself is a strip of cardboard that I used to help frame it. And all that cardboard I got for free from Express. It was stuff that they were just going to throw away. And I said, hey, don't throw it away, I can use this. And I actually have 2 more boxes at my house for another project that I'm going to start building later next year. It's something for my house. So there are different things you want to talk about. Get people interested. Talk about their money. Talk about ways of saving them money. They will be super interested. Talk about ways of saving money. Next one. Awareness. Awareness. Make people aware of something, whether it's a cause that you believe in, maybe it's a charity that you believe in, maybe it's a disease that's affecting a lot of people that could be easily prevented. Make people aware of something. Yes?
Doesn't awareness kind of count as safety a little bit too?
It does. It touches into safety, yeah. You can make something about safety and awareness. A lot of these you can do 2 things at the same time. So some of these you can talk about awareness and safety at the same time. You can talk about money and awareness. So like, let's say that there's someone out there, there's a scam out there that's getting people to give away their money. There was a big scam, an email scam that was going out a number of years ago, and it still kind of goes out. And it will be this guy who sends you an email, and he says he's a prince from some Middle Eastern country who's looking to make investments in the American stock market, and he needs someone to run the accounts for him. So if you will send him your bank information, he will deposit $10 million into your account, and you get to keep 10% of it. Does anybody know what 10% of $10 million is? $1 million.
Okay, cool.
So people are like, I can get $1 million just for helping this guy out. Sure, I'll send you my bank information. Anybody want to guess what happened when they did?
Took all the money.
They robbed.
He took they take all the money out.
I would know.
They'd suck all the money out of their account. It was a fraud. It was a scam. So there were a lot of people who were writing things about awareness to make people aware that this guy was stealing their money. So sometimes you can tie in more than one thing. You can tie in more than one thing. This is another one. Relationships. Oh. There are so many magazines and books out there solely about nothing but relationships. Cosmopolitan magazine, everybody know the Cosmo? Makes a fortune on this subject. This is like their bread and butter. All they do is talk about relationships. How to know if your man is cheating. You know, how to cheat on your man and not let him find out. You know, they make a fortune on these types of things. You know, how to make your relationship last. That relationships is one of the biggest things. But relationships, here's the funny thing. This is the part that people don't really understand when we talk about relationships. A relationship is any way that you are connected to another person. So, Brooke and Christopher technically have a relationship because they sit at the same row. It's not that type of relationship. Let's see here. Myself and all of you have a relationship because I am your teacher, you are my students. We are in a relationship together. We are related to each other some way. Any way that you are connected to another person, the person their locker is next to you, that's a relationship. You guys are next to each other. You are connected in some way, shape, or form. Each one of you in this class, because you are in this class together, have a relationship with each other. You have a relationship with your families, brothers and sisters, mom and dad, aunts and uncles, cousins, grandparents. All of that are relationships. Relationships aren't only boyfriend and girlfriend. So sometimes, if you want to find out how to be a better parent, or if you want to find out how to be a better student in class and how to really listen to your teacher, really listen to your teacher, you can write something about relationships. Relationships. It's all about relating to one another. Okay? This is one that will probably not be a big issue for you right now. In fact, time is probably something you rarely think about at your age. You get a little older, and you start realizing that, when you get to my age and realize you're probably more than a third of the way through your life expectancy, and that gets depressing, and you really start caring about time. You really start caring about time. You want to save time and spend as much time doing the important things.
I just said that.
I hate that phrase. I really do. I really do. It's just,
No, I found one.
unless it's
Mr. Bitter, do you like this better?
the only thing you only live once isn't true if you believe in reincarnation, which some people do.
Listen,
So,
it's like if you only listen. No, I like this better than yours. Like you only live once, but if you do it right the first time, you don't need another one.
yeah, still, no.
I like that. Reincarnation is when you die, and then you get reincarnated to someone or something, depending on if
You only like all fire.
Okay, so time. You can write about time, and you can also write about how to save time doing homework, or what's the fastest way to do things. You can do things like that. And time-saving tips. Everybody loves time-saving tips. You can talk to someone about how to do things faster. Or even if you wrote something you could write about the subject YOLO if you wanted to, about how to properly use the time that you have. Because no one knows how much time you have, so you should properly use the time that you do have. Okay? So time, that's the other one. Anybody remember H? I just got stumped.
Yeah.
No, is it health?
Yeah.
So.
Health.
Health.
Yes. I thought it was homework.
Health kind of ties into safety and awareness. So you're writing about health, something that will keep you healthy, tips of exercise, things to eat, sleeping tips. Those are my favorites. I love to read about tips for sleeping, because if there's one activity I love on this planet but never get to do, it's sleep. They average like 4 hours of sleep a night, and that's really not enough. Health. Exercise is the next one, right? Because it's exercise. Health, exercise. And I want to clarify with exercise. Exercise doesn't mean just
Jogging.
energy. That's right, it was energy. Because I knew it was more than just exercising. It's energy. But we did the running thing, right? And energy was running. That's right. Because it's more than just exercising. It's anything you can do with energy. So sports, fun activities, going outside, doing stuff, whatever it takes, whenever you got energy. Or if you're writing about people who don't have enough energy, here's tips to get more energy, or to be more energetic, or be less energetic. Whichever,
Stop looking
works.
at me and saying stuff.
Whatever works, more energetic, less energetic, whichever one works for you. Man, I'm off now. Oh, that's right for Brooke. Attitude. Oh, yes. Attitude. Attitude.
The other one is respect.
Hmm?
I think the other one is respect.
No, it's not respect. Attitude. Attitude. I think that was pretty easy. You see all kinds of different things about changing people's attitude, and not just like, oh, you've got a bad attitude, you need to change, but also if someone feels a certain way about a particular thing. So let's say everybody in this room should know at least by now. I'm a very big Cubs fan. I love the Cubs. So I have a positive attitude towards the Cubs. And I view the Cubs, even when they're losing and terrible, with a positive attitude. So you could write something to change my attitude about the Cubs. All right, we'll finish this up when you guys get back. And then we're going to start writing. Yee!